tornado is a destructive vortex of violently rotating winds, having the appearance of a funnel-shaped cloud and advancing beneath a large storm system. The purpose of this speech is to help one understand the steps one can take to help survive a tornado, and how to be responsible when a tornado decides to circle its tail on the ground. Hierarchy in tornadoes would stem from personal security, financial security, and family, or would be friends and family that the loved ones would have lost in the aftermath of a tornado. And finally, what would the psychological needs of human survival be in a tornado? Tornadoes are horrific and they cause so many life-changing disasters. First off would be safety needs. There is no way to define the safety of a tornado, but there are certain steps one can take to make sure they are safe if a tornado was to happen. Some of the certain steps would include using a family plan, watch local news on the television or radio, and taking shelter is just some of the few things you can do to protect yourself in a tornado. Some things that you can do that would make it unsafe for a tornado would be standing next to or around a window, standing outside watching the tornado coming towards you, not taking shelter when needed, also not using protection such as heavy blankets, a mattress, or a heavy table to protect your head. Always remember to take shelter to protect yourself when the sirens sound. According to Amy Haddock's article, Tornado Safety Tips to keep you ahead of the storm states, the basic rules for tornado safety tips are worth repeating and clipping on the refrigerator or highly visible spot in the home and the office. I think the most important rule are to have multiple methods of receiving weather information, such as a television, a radio, smartphone, etc., and to develop and test your family's severe weather plan in advance. Second would be family and friends. In case of a tornado, one should take responsibility of helping with others and helping with the cleanup after the tornado. One can help by reporting hazardous material to officials so that it can be cleaned up in a timely manner. Hazardous materials could be gas leaks, electrical problems, and possible structure. Making sure there is a water supply could also be potentially a must. Also, loving a loved one after a tornado could result in need of help mourning to that loved one. It can be hard just to see an individual 1 minute and then not seeing them alive the next. If hazardous materials are not reported in a timely manner, it can cause a fire or a death. Also, if there is no water, it can lead to dehydration, heat illness, and or death. Watching where one step will help with less injuries, as nails like to creep up and land in one's foot. According to Nola Taylor-Reid's article, Tornado Facts, Causes, Formation, and Safety states, tornado wind and debris cause most of the structural damage suffered, but nearly half of those injuries from such disasters occur after the tornado has left, during rescue work and cleanup. Also, according to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, a third of those injuries come from stepping on nails. As such, it is important to remember to exercise caution even after the danger appears to have passed. And third would be psychological needs for human survival. Certainty is the need to feel comfort and safety, and growth is our desire to develop emotionally and intellectually. After a tornado, one might need to feel that they can find comfort and safety after the loss of everything one might have owned. Tornadoes destroy, leading to one losing everything. Rebuilding after a tornado would be the growth of psychological needs for human survival. According to Peggy Tice, resilience is the ability to prepare for a plan for absorb, recover from, and more successfully adapt to adverse events. Resilience in a tornado is recovering and rebuilding from aftermath of the destruction of a tornado. In some circumstances, houses need to be rebuilt, families start completely over, and crops are destroyed. Along with crops being destroyed and housing, businesses are also destroyed. Tornadoes destroy, leaving families homeless, without clothes, and sometimes without food. Crops being destroyed leads to millions and billions of money and potential food wasted. According to Dave McIntyre's book, Disaster Response and Recovery, states that in a disaster situation, you must understand that emergency workers and volunteers will rush to the scene to rescue anyone who is trapped and assist injured. Also stated was, in both routine emergency and non-routine emergency disaster situations, emergency service personnel and volunteer will become involved in a search and rescue (SAR) operation. SAR operations are response activities undertaken to find disaster victims and remove them from danger or confinement. SAR is necessary to victims, so victims receive urgent treatment such as hydration, basic first aid, or advanced medical care. Tornadoes leave a lasting mark on so many people's lives. Tornadoes destroy. They take lives away. One of the best ways for everyone to understand a tornado and how it can affect us as a country is always to educate. Nebraska is not the only state in Tornado Alley.